Season 2 Plus is finally approaching its end, and with it comes the most asked question for every single person approaching their end of season summary. So, in this video, we're going to be responding to the age old question: which end of season rewards should I pick for every single tier? Plus, I want to take a minute to explain this UI because I also got asked about it a few times, so I want to make it as clear and crispy clear as possible. What is up, guys? Meower here, back with a brand new Call of Dragons video. Not gonna lie, I've been kind of spamming Power Word for the past few days, so that's why I'm kind of disappeared from the Call of Dragons first. But now the hype has kind of, you know, eased in for me. So it's time to get back what we really love to do, making videos for Call of Dragons. So in this video, we're finally going to be discussing the best of end of season rewards because I get asked that question with, for every single time someone enters their end of season summary. So let's just get started. We're going to be starting off for the best rewards for the Anointed tier, especially from the pet shop. So before we get started, of course, drop a like, subscribe, join the Discord. I love to see you all and I love to interact with you all. Plus, keep an eye out on the account coaching section as I do plan to revamp it to help more players and make it a more streamlined service and easier to access for both smaller players and larger players. So, that being said, look forward for some really good stuff. Now, the Anointed shop. Usually, I always get asked, Meower, which reward should I take? And my first answer is always the split plane bloom. The reason why for the split plane bloom, if you've never won a season before, is because it's just so OP. It is so good having an AoE on your pet skill on an AoE mage such as Lillian Velen, which the Sapphire Phaedric synergizes so well with, is absolutely amazing. Plus, if you've built your pet correctly, you can deal insane amount of damage. Speaking of building the Sapphire Phaedric correctly, I know I made a video before about it, but we kind of managed to discover an OPer build, so keep an eye out for that video, which should be coming soon, which will feature a few key players from the community that are absolutely amazing to work with. So, number one priority will be the split plane bloom. The number two priority will be the steadfast change strike because steadfast change strike will pretty much make your March a healing machine, especially for Cinder and Frhagar that will just heal nonstop because they can always proc change strike and just heal so much because it can be triggered twice per second, making you heal just like crazy. The third reward I would say is probably either super infection, because infection is such a key skill on so many marches right now, such as Goresh Skogul, such as Hoskanara, making it kind of worthwhile. But the number four skill will have to go for the legendary tokens. Now, the reason why I'm saying the legendary tokens is because, well, none of these are actually worthwhile anymore after a little bit. I mean, 20% is nice on first for the exuberance, but you don't do that much damage with forceful exuberance to begin with. The same goes for forceful arrogance, and the healing of Stone Aura is just so minimum to even bother trying to augment it and make it go faster because healing in Call of Dragons in general is not really that enticing, with some key exceptions such as the Steadfast Chain Strike. Also, Super Ravage, not good at all, not even worth it. You already get a double chance to proc it per turn from playing Syndrome Frhagar, and maybe even a triple chance once you have Chain Strike set up. So, Forceful Tempest, not that good. The Thunder Lizard is probably one of the worst pets in the game right now, so I wouldn't even bother. Same for Ice Lizard. The Sapphire Phaedric just does everything the Ice Lizard does, but better, so no point. And of course, super concentration, absolutely worthless. So, just to recap on the Anointed section, Split Flame Bloom, if you got it, Steadfast Chain Strike, if you got it, Super Infection, And if you got it, just spam the legendary hero tokens until you get more skills there in the shop, eventually with the release of more pets, if anything is worthwhile. Next up, we got the Conqueror section. Now, the Conqueror section has got two extremely good skills that we definitely want to pick up. One of them is Magic Pulse, and the second one is Fatal Bite. If you build a War Pet correctly, especially for Fatal Bite, and big shout out for the professor for pointing this out for me, you can actually reach 108% crit damage dealt when you build your pet correctly, which is pretty insane, especially if some of the War Pets, when you pair it with a fierce attack skill, it will deal quite the amount of damage, rivaled even by an epic commander. So definitely these two are probably the best to pick off. Some people go for outbursts of rage at third. I personally don't like it that much, but if you do, then by all means, super follow up, useless, don't go for it. And elemental harmony would fall into the same category as fatal bite. So in order, I would go for Magic Balls first, because you always want to augment your commander first before augmenting the War Pet, and then either Fatal Bite or Elemental Harmony, depending on your current favorite pet, and maybe Outbursts of Rage, and then finally just keep spamming the Legendary Hero tokens. I always get asked, why not the treaties? Well, the thing is, the end of season rewards are far more important, especially those skill cards that are not easily accessible or even available at most of the time, with the exception of course, the treaties that you can always end up farming. The same principle applies to the enduring section, which is, of course, number one priority Magic Pulse, and then Fatal Bite or Elemental Harmony, depending on your favorite pet, and then Outbursts of Rage last, and of course, just pick up whatever here else. It's not really worth it value wise in this section, but it is what it is. Everyone has their seasons that go up or down. Next up, for the common section, depending on how much you have left, you should always pick up the legendary Ascension emblem. You can pick up some prestige, depending on how much coins you got left, and some CP here and there to accelerate your start. Normally, you will never have enough to pick up everything, so choose wisely and choose what fits your niche. Next up, the artifact compodium. Of course, it is always worthwhile to go for the Anointed artifact compodium or the Conqueror artifact compodium, because they get some really good artifacts in general, especially if you're missing anything that you want to miss top off your collection. So always go for it, and getting, at least two legendary artifacts for the price of 30,000 gems is a damn good deal and extremely rare. That is it for the end of season rewards. And now, let me just explain this UI, because I got asked about it a few times. So the way it works is that we get the first pop-up, which lasts for 1 day, that will show the migration preview, meaning we can start migrating within our section for the next 3 days. So as you can see, I've migrated out of 25 and went to 75 in hopes of wanting to match my friends. This migration will only last 3 days, and then the season summary will begin once this migration ends. And now, the season summary ends on the 28th, meaning if you're not in an alliance till this season summary ends, your rewards will not be locked in. Your rewards get immediately locked in once this season summary is over. So, meaning once the countdown on the 28th is over, that means your season summary has been logged in and you are free to move alliances as you please, because you're pretty much guaranteed it, and you will see a little icon in this section right here when it comes to the season rewards, and it will just always show what season you are and what season tier you got, whether if it's you got the Frost Dragon or the Magma Demon, and so on and so forth. So do keep that in mind. And then we get the matchmaking pop up, meaning who we will be matching with at the 30th, the region selection at the 31st, and then the start of the season begins afterwards. Hopefully, this video clears up a lot of stuff and it helps you make your selection, especially since so many players are having their season end coming up. So, of course, on that note, thank you so much for watching. If you like content like this, please be sure to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Good luck with your migration, and good luck for squeezing in the time to capture the Frost Dragon to get your end of season rewards. And of course, don't forget to drop a like, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Meow meow!